Hey, we're here. We're here. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to January the 30th. Can you believe that? January 30th, 2024, the second last day of the month already. Wasn't it just like Halloween a few weeks ago? I mean, what's going on here? Time is just flying by. Welcome everyone to the party. It's your buddy Uncle Bruce here with Stock Markets with Bruce. Welcome from around the world. All of you who are joining me today, say hi to me if you like. Chat is wide open for all of you to say hello. Tell me, where are you watching me from? Are you having fun here? How did you do yesterday on your Sofi? Did any of you have some fun buying back some cash secured puts that would have crapped out in value? I know some of you made some nice comments yesterday and let me know you did quite well. We have another fun-filled, action-packed day today, I'm sure, in the markets. We'll follow it. At the moment, I'm showing the Dow off 93 points, 94 in the pre-market, slowly slumping a little bit. I've got S&P off 12.5, NASDAQ down 47. But when you talk about percentages, we're talking nothing burgers here. The Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ are off 1/4 percentage point. That's it. We're not doing nada here. We have to move several hundred points to really see some direction here. But crude oil down 82 cents with all the turmoil in the Middle East. We're down 82 cents. And this is reflective, I think, in the oil market, just how things have changed in the last little while. The United States and Canada and Mexico, we are cranking oil like you cannot believe. We are producing tons of this stuff. Most of North America's needs are from domestic sources, our own three countries. Canada doesn't need to import any crude. The U.S. actually is an exporter. The United States actually exports energy out. The president, Mr. Biden, had to actually hold up the LNG export game. There's so many applications have come in to the regulatory authorities for LNG export plants all over the coastline of the United States. They want to send gas out because the United States has natural gas over this level. I mean, there's too much natural gas in the U.S. compared to oil. And so the U.S. would love to export liquefied natural gas. Canada, same issue. Tons of natural gas, tons of oil. Canada's reserves are like Saudi Arabia's, just endless. And so, of course, the push is on with environmentalists and climate people and business. And I mean, it's a huge battle. One side versus the other. How do we do this? What should we do? Why should we do this? Why shouldn't we do this? And around we go. At the end of the day, oil is used in thousands of products, not just to pump gas into your car or truck. And it's down 80 cents a barrel right now because OPEC does not control the oil market like they used to. The perception in the old days, a few decades ago, was whatever OPEC wanted, the price would then reflect what OPEC would do. If only OPEC could get its act together. And that is what has saved the G20 from being victims of OPEC's crazy ways, because OPEC can't control itself. They have members that go off on their own, and they have members that break the rules and produce more, because a number of OPEC countries are basically dictatorships and have been taken over by coups and are run by generals. And it's the bribe game over there. The entire country is run from the top down by bribes, and it comes from the oil sales that are done in US dollars, and is legit business as far as the world is concerned, but it's a perfect way to fund a general who appoints himself for life to be a leader of a country. And you have millions of prisoners in the country that are poor and destitute and will never get anywhere. And there you go. Welcome to the world. Have a nice day. Thank you for joining me. Look, if you're in Canada, USA, Europe, you're probably going to be all right. We'll be fine. But if you really want to make money in this market, let's get back to the stock market. You want to make money in this stock market, you can try to find the big breakout stock story of all time, and look for a GameStop stock that goes from $2 to $500, or look for anyone else that'll really go nuts. Or you can do it the old-fashioned way. The way that the winners of the stock market make money, they make it $1 at a time, and they make it one trade at a time, one investment at a time, and the key word there is investment. But one of the ways to make money in this market is to allow the market to tell you what to do, rather than you guess what it's going to do. Most investors out there are guessers. They are trying to predict what markets are going to do, whether the Dow is going to hit a new high, or the S&P, or whether oil goes up or down, or what have you, or whether certain sectors of the economy are going to do well or not. If you become an option writer, which is what most of my viewers have become, you don't have to guess what direction the market's going to go. You're going to make money either way. The funny thing about being an option writer is there are viewers of this channel that can actually make money in the market, even when the market goes against their option positions. Because if you create options correctly, if you sell an option on a stock or an index far enough ahead of the index, even if the market goes up towards your options still shrink in value, because they run out of time before they become worth, before they can be worth anything to the end buyer. And this is where option writers can win. And this is what institutional traders do all the time. Your deposits at your bank, your payments that you make to your insurance company for auto, health, life insurance, home insurance, all these insurance premiums that are collected, which are trillions of dollars worldwide. Those dollars come in, and a portion of those dollars go to run the insurance company's operations, and they have money to pay out claims, but the claims don't come out every week, guaranteed number of claims. It varies depending on what disasters are happening, or fires, or whatever. And so these dollars are accumulated by insurance companies and are put to work. And a bunch of the dollars are into U.S. Treasuries. Yes, they're into the bond market. Absolutely. They're into the stock market for long-term holds of high-quality stock. Yeah, they're looking for dividend income too. Yeah, but they also write options. And they haul in option premium on top of dividend premium, which allows these institutional entities, banks, insurance companies, pension funds, mutual funds, ETFs, and many other privately run hedge funds to bring income in on a consistent basis from gamblers in the option market. If you are an investor in stock like IBM or Apple, or ETFs that track the Magnificent Seven or tech stocks or anything like that, you're just putting money into a fund that puts money into the market that buys stock. And if you're buying an index fund, ETF or whatever mutual fund, it'll track the performance of the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. But the hedge fund operators out there who represent millionaires and billionaires, and there are gazillions of those with trillions of dollars, these guys need a return on their money on a consistent basis. Because if you're the manager of a hedge fund, or you're the president of a hedge fund, and you've got 1,000 employees or 300 employees or 150 employees, whatever the size of your fund, you have to make enough money every month to pay the bills of the fund itself. You've got the investors' money that you're managing for them. It might be $10 billion or $5 billion or $500 million. You're managing people's money, well-to-do, but you also have overheads, and you're charging your investors a 2% fee on the value of the fund as an admin fee. And then you're getting 20% of any profits. It's a typical, not untypical kind of a deal out there. So if you're running $1 billion hedge fund, you're charging these guys 2% to operate it, and then you're charging 20% of the profits. What you want to do is you want to show the investors that their $1 billion at the end of the year is now $1.5 billion or 1.3 or 2.6. It's more. Well, if it's $1.5 billion, they're not going to mind that you're taking 2% of the value out of the fund to run the fund on an admin basis, because there's 500 million that's come in that wasn't there before. This is great. They're happy giving you 20% of the take as well. They're getting 80% of the gains are being credited to them. Now, they might take that in cash, or they might just have additional units in the fund and know that their investment went from, for every dollar they put in, it's now worth $1.45 or something net. They made 45% on their money last year, and they just say, keep on managing my money. Well, one way to bring in the 2% fees and reduce costs of running an outfit, and to add to profits of 20%, 40%, 60% a year or more, one way to do it is to write options. And so hedge funds are very active in the options market, and they may or may not own stock that they write options on. And that's what's happening here with this channel. Viewers of this channel are figuring out, through hanging out with this guy and the 17 lessons we've put together on how to write options, that you can write options on stock you don't have. And this is where something like Sofi comes in. We talked about Sofi all day yesterday. We're going to talk Sofi again today and tomorrow and the day after. There are people here who are making money on Sofi without owning the stock. All they did was they had enough cash on hand to buy 100 shares of Sofi, 500 shares, 1,000, 5,000, 10,000, whatever number of shares of Sofi they could have purchased with their stock, with their cash. What they ended up doing was they ended up writing cash secured puts instead. And so they said to the option market, hey, I'll tell you what, I'll buy 1,000 shares of Sofi off of anyone out there at $10 a share. And I'll give the world until January 2025, a year from now. Now it's 11 months, but a year from now, I'll give you a year to sell me stock at $10 a share. And we all know that Sofi last week was $7.50 a share. Here's someone offering $10. I'll buy your Sofi off you for $10. You want to sell it to me? I'll give you $10 right now. And nobody was giving them the money, the stock. Why? Because they bought an option instead. They bought an option for the right to sell them the stock at $10, but they had to pay for the option. And this is where the option writer, my viewer, is going, yeah, I'll buy your stock from you. But when it was at $7.50 a share last week before last, that contract was a $3.50 contract. And so they were being paid $3.50 a share to buy the stock at $10 a share for a year. In effect, they put up the $10 with their broker. That's 10 grand for 1,000 shares. And the broker helped them sell 10 contracts at $350 a contract. They brought in $3,500 in cash. And they're sitting now on their 10,000 plus 3,500. They got 13.5 in their account right now, and they're on the hook to buy 1,000 shares of Sofi at $10 a share. Fast forward to today, stock's at $9 odd a share. That put contract was $2.50 in the money when the stock was $7.50. Now the put contract's only $1 in the money. And so what's happened? The put contract values have dropped, because you can now buy this contract for less than the $3.50 you could have purchased that before. I'm using generic numbers. I'm not giving you exact quotes. Bear with me. So as of yesterday, it's very possible that this put contract is now trading $1 lower than it was a week or two ago, which means that my viewers, as of yesterday, today, whatever, they could start buying back their puts for $1 less than they sold them for and keep the change. Well, $1 a contract, for example, is a $100 per contract, because each contract represents 100 shares, 1,000 shares, and $1 a contract, or $1 a share, $1,000 gain on their offer to buy stock at 10. They'll sell their 10 contracts, or sorry, they'll buy back 10 contracts from the open market, because put contracts, these particular put contracts are trading in the thousands. They'll buy back 10 contracts, and they'll be off the hook. Their $10,000 is still sitting here. The $3,500 they got, they gave $2,500 back, and they keep $1,000. And in a week, 10 days of time, they made $1,000 on their $10,000. They made 10% in a week and a half. And that's only because the stock went up to the 9.25 level. It didn't go to a $15. It didn't have to go to $20. It just rose closer to the $10 level, putting these puts at a lower price. That's what's going on here thousands of times, because there are hundreds and hundreds of viewers on this channel, maybe over 1,000 now, who are option writers. And this is being done on all kinds of stock. And these folks don't own the stock. They love SoFi. They love it. Now, of course, if SoFi dips to the 850 level today, 825, $8, it could. I don't know if it will. But what if it did? Guess what's going to happen? I'm going to have a bunch of my viewers create and write new cash secured puts today. They're going to write cash secured puts at 8, 9, 10, whatever value they want. They'll bring in the cash because the stock dipped. The puts will go up in price. They'll sell them again and they'll fold their arms and say, all right, we'll go back to 9.50. I'll buy those puts back for $1 less, $2 less, $1.50 less. Just bring me the dough. I'll take the dough up front, offer to buy the stock, and as the stock rises up again, I'll buy back my puts and say thank you for the change, and they'll make another $1,000 on their $10,000, or they'll make $1,000 on they'll make $2,000 on $20,000, or they'll make $500 on $8,000. It all depends what profit level you're comfortable with, what risk level you like, how long do you want to wait as an option writer. And that's just making money on stock you don't own. Of course, another way to do it here that a lot of folks use are credit spreads, where they will sell one option on a stock, for example, say, let's say Apple. Apple's trading 190 something. They'll sell a 220 Apple call and buy an Apple 230 call for maybe a month from now, 2 months from now. Well, the call you write is worth more in dollars than the call you buy. So the one you're selling might be $4. The one you're buying is $3. There's a $1 differential. That's credit into your account for every contract you create. And so you need $1,000 for each one of these positions, because the difference between the contracts is $10. That's $1,000. You have to, if you've got 10 grand, you can do 10 credit spreads. You can do 10 calls that you write and 10 calls you buy. You just brought in $1,000. You're sitting on $1,000 credit and you're doing this. And in the next 2 to 3 weeks, these writers and creators of these credit spreads are going, well, if the market has a bad week, whenever it wants to have a bad week, it's going to have a bad week. Sooner or later, the Dow and the S&P and the Nasdaq will run out of gas, and they'll pause a little bit, and maybe we'll have a little sell-off on Apple, Nvidia, Microsoft, Netflix, Adobe, name them off. Name them. There's dozens of stocks. A 5% pullback on any of these stocks will cause credit spreads to shrink in value. In other words, the calls that were written and the calls that were bought will both go down in value, and the spread of $1 will go down to 50 cents to 25 cents. Eventually, the contracts will expire worthless because they were out of the money when they were created. And if the stock falls, in the meantime, between now and the option expiry date, these are even further out of the money because the market is backing away from the contracts, and these contracts will whittle into pennies from dollars. And this allows credit spread creators to buy their contracts back. They buy back the puts, the calls they wrote, they sell off the puts, the calls they bought, and they keep the change. And it might be 80 cents out of $1. They keep 80% of the money. You do 100 of them, you're talking some serious money here. Doing 10 of them, there's some dough in them there hills. And this can be done on calls or puts, and calls and puts at the same time. Never-ending possibilities. Anyway, if you want to learn how to write options and you want to become an option trader, you want to do what the institutions are doing, this is what we talk about here. This is the channel where we talk about how you can trade like hedge funds. And this is why hedge funds keep making the big bucks. Super Bowl is being talked about like crazy right now, okay? I can guarantee you this. There will be hundreds of private jets landing at the McCarran Airport, or what they call it now, in Las Vegas. Hundreds of private jets will land in the Vegas area, and the jets might land and then take off again and go to Phoenix and be parked there, because the Nevada airport will not be able to park hundreds of private jets all over the place. But private jets are going to bring in well-to-do partiers all week during Super Bowl week coming up, as it's 2 weeks away. Many of those private jets coming in are owned by, or will be leased by, chartered by the very well-to-do people that actually are the investors of hedge funds and the senior wealthy people across the world, really, but certainly the USA. There will be hedge fund managers coming in. There will be the top folks from Wall Street coming in. You can count on anyone who's everyone coming into Las Vegas. A high number of these people who are the very high-enders are coming in by private jet. And these are the folks that are writing options, or have people writing options for them. And this is where I'm pushing you towards. I'm pushing you towards to do what they do, as opposed to what the gamblers are doing on the option trading floor. In the options world, 90% of all the option gamblers are people who buy and sell put contracts, hoping for a mega move on a stock or an index. They're looking to hit a lottery payoff. They want to put in $5,000 for some call options and hope it turns into $10,000 to $20,000. They're either professional traders in that area, or they are likely people who don't have enough capital to buy 1,000 shares of Apple at a time and flip it for a couple of bucks. So they buy options instead at a much lower cost to control 1,000 shares and try to make a couple of bucks that way. And unfortunately, they have to guess which direction the market is going to go. And these gamblers are the ones who get taken to the cleaners. And this is why a $5 trillion market exists in the option market, and it always turns over, and every month $1 trillion or more is taken out by winners in the option trades. And 90% of the time, the winners of option trades are option writers. And that's what we're doing here. So I'm just trying to get you to join the kids that own the private jets and that can charter the private jets. If it helps you make a couple of $1,000 a month in your life, adds a couple of $1,000 a month to your cash flow for your family and your home, well, there's a couple of $1,000 a month coming in that you didn't have before. Maybe that helps you knock off a couple of credit card bills over the next few months or the next year or so. If you can bring in 4, 6, 8, 10,000 a month of additional cash, maybe that changes the household dynamic in that mom or dad don't work anymore. Mom or dad only work from home now because the boss threatened to let you go if you don't go back to the office. And you've said, screw you, you son of a bitch. I'm making enough money. I don't need your stinking job anymore. I can get 20 hours a week of work at home doing what I do for you, and I'm not commuting into your dang office anymore. Thanks anyway. We have a new income source over here. We're not going to tell you about it because you don't deserve to know about Uncle Bruce. And thanks anyway. And then there are those of you who are making 10 to 20 to 30,000 a month now writing options, who have given up your job. Your husband or wife have given up their jobs. You don't work part-time for anybody. You might do consulting work from time to time if you wish to, and you've completely changed your complete existence from getting by paycheck to paycheck to now bringing in more than enough capital to live on, and you're powering up your 401ks and your retirement funds. Those of you who are in your 50s and 60s, you found me just in time. Many of you let me know that in no uncertain terms, and you are now bringing in income that you never thought you'd ever see because you were worried that your futures in the next 3 to 5 years were centered around a security, your Social Security check, or your retirement from Government of Canada check, or whatever country you live in. And now you realize That money is spending money. I can make much more money than I need to live on, trading my own wealth. Thank you very much. And this pension money is just a nice little add-on. And now you can do estate planning for yourself, your wife, your husband, your family, your children and grandchildren, and you are bringing in returns that you didn't bring in the last 20 or 30 years. I cannot tell you how many people are out there who have found this channel and agree with me that friends and relatives and associates that you all know out there are sitting on 401ks and IRAs that are being managed. These funds are being managed on their behalfs, and they're getting 2, 3, 4, 5% returns on their money, while inflation the last 2 years has eaten away 15% of their buying power. People's retirements in the last 2 years have been decimated, even though we have record high stock markets. This is the tragedy of it all. The stock markets are at record highs, and yet the buying power of people's retirement funds have been depleted by upwards of 15%, which means the last 5 years you've worked and the 5 years of contributions you have made have been eaten up by inflation. You have not moved $1 richer towards your retirement, which is 10 or 20 or whatever years away from now. You're getting nowhere fast. And this is why a lot of folks here, they take control of their money and they say, enough's enough. I'm going to control all my assets. I'm not leaving any of my cash and my contributions through work to these managers out there. I want to really manage my own wealth. And time after time after time, we're getting that information from our viewers. And I congratulate you all on taking the big step to understand how option writing works, why it makes sense, why it could make a lot of sense for you, and how it can completely change your existence. You only go around once. You're in a mid-level job somewhere, and you are in a cubicle that will never let you out. You will never be the owner of the company. You will never be the senior vice president in charge of 500 employees. You are destined to be a grunt inside an entity, and that's it. Now, maybe going in, that's all you expected. You figured, hey, I'm a mid-level guy, girl, whatever. I'm going to make a middle kind of money, but hey, I'm trying to look after my family. Yeah, well, until they lay you off. And you've never thought, many of you never thought it was possible that you might be let go from your employer because you were just indispensable. You worked extra hours. You were always there when they asked you to come in on a Saturday. And then you find out that little by little, more and more of your coworkers around you are being let go. Other divisions are being cut back because there's a new game in town called AI, artificial intelligence. And for the first time in ever you can ever imagine, and remember, people in offices are now worried about being let go, even though the economy is supposedly doing great and the markets are all-time highs. There are people being let go because employers will take the initiative to dump hundreds of people, thousands of people, a huge percentage of companies as soon as they can to reduce overheads. Because if you can reduce overheads, you improve margins. And if you improve margins, the stock price goes up for these publicly traded companies. And the top 1% of the owners of the company, those are the ones who own the shares, are much, 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 much richer off the backs of the saps that were let go because we don't need them anymore. And you cannot get yourself caught in that position. And many of you have figured out in the last 2 years, oh my God, I am on the front line of being let go because the next round of layoffs will come up to my level. This is only a matter of time. And you're getting this confirmed because you're seeing layoffs at investment houses in New York. We're seeing layoffs at accounting firms. We're seeing layoffs at the Googles of the world. We're seeing layoffs at the Microsofts of the world. We're seeing layoffs all over the place with high-end companies that were hiring like crazy up until a few years ago. Now, all of a sudden, they're downsizing. And this is a tip-off for some of you to make some moves now before they're forced upon you. The worst thing that can happen to you is you get let go without any thinking that you were going to be let go, and you're fully exposed with a paycheck to paycheck existence. And within 3 to 6 weeks of being let go, you are in financial turmoil. This is the worst case scenario. You don't want to get anywhere near that. So you want to add income to your household from a source that you can count on that you can believe in, and it's called yourself. Learning how to write options on assets you've already got. You just have to learn how options are created, how they get purchased back, and how you can write options on stock you don't even own if you'd like to do that. Go to my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Check out the classes for sale. Decide for yourself if you want to take any or not. Hang out here with this gang of regulars. Learn what we talk about. You'll figure it out pretty quickly. You'll get a pretty good handle on it, and you'll understand why these people never leave this channel. It's pretty cool bean stuff. I thank you all for already joining me this morning. Just changed my logo here to Gold Bagel Level because I have two channels, the travel channel and my stock market channel. Welcome to the stock market channel. And thank you for joining me here. Thank you for all of you who are hitting the thumbs up button already this morning to give us some momentum. We hit 320 thumbs ups yesterday. You guys who are here live and you kids out there on the rerun came through big time yesterday and hit 320 thumbs ups for us. We thank you very much. The first 100 are always appreciated because we like to get to 100 thumbs up before the market opens. The second 100 is the hardest one to get, and we thank you for those yesterday who just came in here and powered the thumbs up button for us. We appreciate it. All right, we're going to watch, obviously, Sofi. We're going to watch the markets. We're going to watch it all, and I'll do my best to try to explain stuff in plain English to you if you have any questions. Thank you, Lame Duck, for being here. Richard, Hector, Amy, Jay, Corinne. Thumbs up's 18. John, how you doing, pal? And JR is here at number 21. Thumbs up. Juan, how are you? Rocket Man. The Big T is here. BW, JPM, placing Sofi on negative catalyst watch. Buffoonery in full effect. We got another sell rating from another clown analyst. What a charade. Kent is in the house. Good morning, Kent. Nice to see you. 80 degrees yesterday here in Palm Desert, Rancho Mirage. Wow, we have another beautiful day again today. Very close to 80 yet again today. Perfect golfing weather, I must say. BW, M&Ms are going to be, market makers are going to be in full on shenanigan mode this morning, hoping to trap some shorts and lure some timid longs in. BW, JP Morgan tried it this weekend with their trickery, the short covering and fear. Hasn't set in yet, and thus hasn't even begun. The Black Hockey Club is here. Good morning. Hector, good morning, Uncle Bruce. Watching you from the Mexican Riviera. We're at 17 degrees Celsius this morning. Sweater weather. Sell my house fast in Upper Marlboro. Good morning, number 42. Thumbs ups. Hi, all from Marie. Burrow King Sound is in the house. CKT is number 55. White Feather. Good morning, all. Nobody teased Uncle Bruce about having the wrong channel icon up. He does the best he can. Oh, geez. The Big L. Lizzie, hello, Uncle Bruce and family. Anyone bought back their Sofi Jan 25 cash secured puts and considering reselling for Jan 26, or is that too far out? What are your thoughts on that, you guys? JR, number 66. Good morning, everybody. Let's make those greenbacks. Sean, you don't deserve to know about the Bruce, legend Uncle Bruce, changing lives daily. You don't deserve to know about Uncle Bruce. Larry Titus, good morning, all. Number 77. Larry, I hope the pet emergency worked out yesterday. I hope everything's okay there. We missed you. Luke Pongiano, everybody. Number 81 here. Sharon is in the house from mid New Jersey. Welcome. 84 thumbs up. Welcome, Sharon. Melvin Mayo, good morning, everybody. Kelly Haston is in the house, number 85. Mandu, 88 thumbs up right there. Michael, cost to do business with the high rates has hit big business. Bidenomics, Bruce. Well, what can I say? Bidenomics, 4 consecutive years of less than 4% unemployment. The U.S. economy, strongest in the world. China collapsing. Europe in trouble. Unbelievable. The economy of America is truly something to behold. I mean, foreign analysts are envious of the United States economy. I mean, envious. Prices have gone up higher in Europe than in the U.S. it's quite something to see. Anyway, what can I tell you? Waverly number 92, Touchgrass, thumbs up. The computer was $. I'm JR. I'm not too sure why YouTube lets me be number 21 and number 66, but it happened. So, what can I say? Sean Butler, I think I'm number 100. Colton, 111. My parish, wow, Uncle Bruce, over 100,000 thumbs ups already. Dean, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining in, popping in, hitting the thumbs up, saying hi. Great to have you. I want you guys to just make money, and more money. 115 thumbs ups and counting right now. Thank you all for this tremendous support. It is much appreciated. 214 are watching right now. Welcome, all of you guys. Let me know where in the world you are, if you like. What's your high temperature going to be today? Have you guys noticed gasoline prices falling off where you guys live? On my other channel, viewers were telling me they were paying less than $3 a gallon. They were in the $2.60 range in some cases. I guess it depends on where you live, of course, what price of gas really is. But boy, compared to 3 years ago, things have improved dramatically. Rocket Lab is down 4 cents. We've got Sofi down at $8.98, $9 right now. GameStop down a dime. Matterport a couple of pennies lower. Watching the bigger stocks, Apple down $1.13. Nothing serious here. Goldman is actually up 281. Cisco down 22 cents. Tesla's up 428 on top of the 768 yesterday. So we went from 183, 182 now to 195 in 2 days. Little recovery there. ARC Innovations, the Kathy Woods fund, 48.11 last night's close. We were at like $46 yesterday morning. We're now at 48.17, up 6 more cents this morning. Microsoft gained $5.79 yesterday to add $3 more this morning to that. We're now up to $4.12 on Microsoft, new highs. Pfizer is up 30 cents today, having some good reports coming out at $27.76. HPQ up 76 cents, back to $30 a share. Google down a quarter. Amazon down 26 cents, nothing serious there. NVIDIA up another $3.60 a share after gaining $14.34 yesterday. Unity up 3 cents. AI is down 8. These two are slowly coming back on here. Adobe down $1.80, was up $16 yesterday. Spiders are down $1, and the Qs are down $1. They both gained yesterday. 0.75% for Spider, 1% for the Qs. Netflix down 7.20, was up 5.30 yesterday. IBM down 67 cents. Meta, the old Facebook, is up 58 cents. Vanik Semiconductors, SMH is a symbol, 190.02, down 46 cents, and that is near record highs. Home Depot down $1.70. Enphase is down to 137, and Palantir is down 2 cents at 17.07. So these are just some of the bigger stocks and the stocks we follow, we watch here right now. We're waiting to see what's going on. Bank of England is to keep rates at near 16-year highs on Thursday, they say, but traders bets that cuts are coming. So there are traders in UK thinking that the interest rates will drop there. In Europe, with Germany in a recession, they're worried about interest rates where they are, wondering if they're going to drop, and the ECB won't drop rates because inflation has not been defeated. Even though the European economy is faltering, prices are still too high. Interesting dichotomy there. Most interesting to see that. American gamblers, basically the gamblers here in the United States, who swore we would have 6 interest rate cuts in 2024. Now they're talking 4. Others are talking 2. It's a matter of interest rates and performance. The United States economy is not in recession. The United States does not have an unemployment rate going up to 6%. The United States does not have the end of the world scenario happening to it. It's quite stable, and so certain political candidates out there would like to have the U.S. economy do really badly right now, so they would look really good as an alternative to who's running the country now. And Americans are hanging in there compared to Europe. America is doing great, but we are never fully satisfied, I will tell you that. And so we'll see how things go. JR, gas prices way down. Stock market hitting record highs. Economy on track for what looks like a soft landing, yet Biden is to blame for all the bad stuff. None of the good stuff. What gives? Jerome, 269 for gas here in Wisconsin. Pretty good. That's a swing state. Gas has been up the past week in D.C. James Barnaby, GM, go Sofi. Good morning. Sell my house. It was under $3. Not this week, though, but it was under $3. Says sell my house. I'm really just JR. California sky high gas prices. Close to 650 or more during the last run up. I saw it at 377 this last week, and that's pretty low considering where it's been. California under $4 a gallon, unbelievably cheap. That is cheap gas around here. Those of you who live here, you know what I'm talking about. JR, Sofi below 9, the wrong way. Alberto, good morning, Bagel Familia. I'm here. We can begin right now. That's right. The show can start officially. Good morning, everybody. It's Bruce here from Palm Desert, California. How you doing? Let's get this show started. Alberto just joined us. Fantastic. James, first time I heard Uncle Bruce cover the Palantir price. $1,000,001 table is here, 315 Daytona Beach for a gallon of gas. That's sure beats paying $5 and $6. Like I remember, what was it, 3 years ago? We had that real shot for gasoline across all of America. It went up in Canada as well, but that didn't last. The strategic reserve was opened up. The American people sold hundreds of millions of barrels of oil into the market for top dollar, $110 a barrel. And now America buys it back at 70 something, and taxpayers are winning again. What can I say? Dukin, good morning, everybody. I'm number 121. Welcome, my friend, to the show. Great to have you here. Those of you who are joining this channel as subscribers, I welcome you all. Those of you who are becoming members of this channel, I welcome you as well. We're 18 minutes away from opening today, and when we hit the open, we'll be member-only mode for commentary. Thank you all who have popped in to say hello. You're just hanging out watching this channel, trying to figure out what we're doing here. The whole point of what I do is try to explain in plain English what's going on. By the way, this morning, the talk of the morning was General Motors, the GM stock, the General Motors company. There's been different stories coming out now in the last 24 hours about how some GM dealers are saying to General Motors, guys, you're trying to go from gas and diesel right over to EV. Why don't you consider going hybrid and then into EV? Customers are kind of coming in going, hey, I don't really want to drive let's say a GMC quarter-ton truck getting 18 miles to the gallon in the city or whatever it is. Can you get me something that'll give me 30 miles to the gallon, but still is a truck? And unless it's a diesel, you're probably looking at, you're going to have to look at a hybrid. The problem is that there just aren't many hybrids out there available. And so there's this dilemma. People are thinking EV eventually, but they'd like to kind of get on with it over to hybrid first, perhaps. What I find amazing about the American car companies is that just like the rest of the world, every country in the world subsidizes and supports their domestic industries. This is not uncommon in Britain. It's not uncommon in Europe, China, of course, Japan. Countries, find ways to support capitalism by handing out subsidies. And that's called, of course, socialism, but nobody uses that word because that's a dirty word, Canada hands out millions, if not billions, in tax breaks in Canada for car companies to set up car plants in Ontario and Quebec, because Canada is dominated by Ontario and Quebec population-wise. And if you want the votes to be a government in Canada, you got to have Ontario and Quebec voters vote for your party. Well, your party is going to promote the auto industry. And when Ford comes knocking, and GM and Chrysler and Toyota and Honda and anyone else, they say, well, listen, we're thinking about building a $500 million factory in Brampton, Ontario. The federal government and the Ontario government find miraculous ways of handing out tax breaks to these guys. while homeless Canadians starve in the streets, and many Canadians are going, why can't I find a doctor, and why can't I get a hip replacement in my own country? Why does Antigen have to come to the United States to get a hip replacement and pay cash? Well, it's because the governments are broke, and the governments are broke because they're not bringing in enough revenue. And the reason they're not bringing enough revenue in is they're handing out subsidies to various industries for, basically, these are called bribes, and get these companies to do what they're doing. GM is a collector of humongous bribes in Canada. GM collects massive bribes from state governments in the United States. Take a look at any car company, or say Boeing, or any other corporation like Google. They go out there and say, we're thinking of opening a distribution center in the eastern United States that will create 5,000 jobs, blah, blah, blah. Watch the states jump over each other to hand out giveaways to these massive trillion-dollar-plus corporations that make nothing but money, to bribe them to come to their town, come to our state, come to our area. It's done in Canada, it's done in America, it's done elsewhere, and you've got corporations who are so smart, they now put a bidding war up between countries to see who gives us the best deal to set up shop. It's nothing personal. It's just business, but it's socialism at the highest, most accepted level, and we call it capitalism. And welcome to the party, pal. It's a lot of fun out there. GM this morning talking about the fact that, guys, our customers just want to buy gasoline trucks, and they want to buy big fat SUVs. And therein lies the problem of the United States and Canada. Both of us together are a basket case. We have a population of people in our two countries, as wonderful as we are a basket case. We are overweight, we're old, we're lazy, and we still think that because we won the Second World War, we deserve all the goodies of this world. In the meantime, over in Japan and in Korea and in China, they are developing vehicles on the EV front, the hybrid front, and they are kicking the butt of North American auto manufacturers. There's only one reason that General Motors is still in business. Why is Ford still in business? Why is Chrysler still in business? There's only one thing that they're hanging on to, and no one talks about it. And that's called the chicken tax. Nobody knows about the chicken tax. No analyst will tell you about it. No automotive expert will talk to you about the chicken tax. That's the only reason that these big three automakers are still alive, because Ford does not produce cars. They produce trucks and SUVs. The Taurus is gone. All the other vehicles that Ford ever made, car vehicles, gone. They don't produce them anymore. They walked away. They were kicked out of that business. They could not compete with foreign competition. Ford got so lazy, they just want to make F-150s, and they want to sell you an $80,000 fully equipped F-150 from your local car dealer, and you pay $120 to fill the tank up with gas. Look, the chicken tax, simply put, was instituted back in the 1960s when President Johnson was the president of the United States. At that time, the Europeans were noticing that food in Europe was scarce right after the Second World War. And so governments in the UK and in Europe were pouring all kinds of money into the farming community to get farms to become much more efficient and grow much more of the crops, and get cattle going, and get chickens going, and get pigs going, make food. And so subsidies were handed to these farmers to get them going again. And one of the areas that the governments in Europe really poured money into was chicken farming, for eggs and for chickens. The Europeans were finding that Americans could produce chickens like you couldn't believe, because America didn't get the crap bombed out of it during the Second World War. Farms in the United States were wide open, and the United States government was also funding its farmers, as it does today, socialism for farmers. And farmers were producing chickens like crazy. And so the extra chickens were made. Farmers in the U.S. are so good, they made too many chickens. They had too many. So they would start flooding the European market with chickens. And the Europeans were going, hey, wait. The farmers are going, you're asking us to produce chickens and eggs, and look at what you're letting in from the United States. They're killing us. They're subsidizing their chickens and eggs because the U.S. government is subsidizing the farmers. They can produce more chickens than we can at a lower price. They're killing us. And so the European Union put in a chicken tax, a duty on chickens and eggs from the United States because it was unfair trading practices. These chickens were being dumped at less than market prices. The Johnson administration was hit up by all the automotive lobbyists and everybody else in the lobby business. And the automotive boys came in and said, one way to respond to this kind of unfair practice of the Europeans is we should show them who's boss. And why don't you, the Johnson administration, put in a tax on light trucks coming in from Europe? And people are going, light trucks? What light trucks? There were no light trucks coming in from Europe as it was. Well, there was a new candidate coming in to the U.S. market, and the Americans smelled problems. The United States laughed, hilariously laughed at the Volkswagen. When the Volkswagen car came in, the Beetle came into America, people openly laughed at that car as it was driving up and down Main Street. But then they began to realize that this little car is as tough as nails. You can't break these things, easy to repair, and they're dominating the small car market. And now Volkswagen is coming out with the Volkswagen bus, which can be converted into a pickup truck. In Europe, Volkswagens are used as panel vans in the early 1960s. And so now the GM and Ford and Chrysler guys are going, if these Germans start bringing in those trucks, they're going to realize we want bigger trucks. They're going to start making bigger trucks. And they're kicking our butt on the Volkswagen Beetle. They'll kick our ass on pickup trucks. We need a duty to stop them from coming in. And what we need is a worldwide duty to stop small trucks from coming into the United States and make it only an American market. And President Johnson, Democrat, loves the auto boys and the unions, put in a 25% chicken tax, a tariff on light trucks from anywhere in the world into the USA. The chicken tax on chickens ended in Europe about 2 years after it was implemented because the problem was solved. They negotiated a deal between the farmers of the US and the farmers in Europe, and the governments they kissed and made up. But the light truck chicken tax is still in effect today, 2024, across the USA. There are no light trucks coming in made outside of America other than Canada and Mexico under free trade. No light trucks coming in from Europe or Japan or anywhere in Asia. And so when you go to your Ford dealer, your GM dealer, your Chrysler dealer, price out your F-150 or your Ram truck or whatever, just remember 25% of what you're paying is probably a profit margin built in to the automakers. Ford does not have to fear an F-150 truck coming from Britain, Ireland, France, Italy, anywhere. Not anywhere from Asia, South America. No cheap import is coming in that is exactly like an F-150 coming into the United States of America. The American auto business has been protected by this socialistic duty for what's now 60 years, and the tariff is still in effect, the chicken tax. And so Ford and GM and Chrysler got lazy like we got lazy, and they walked away from small cars. They left that to the importers, and they want to just produce big fat trucks. They just want to produce diesel-powered Humvees. They want to produce beautiful, huge SUVs with all the bells and whistles, because that's what American families want. And so the economy lives off of that. Unfortunately, the environment is having to deal with the emissions, and the mileage ratings of American vehicles is a joke compared to the rest of the world. And so somehow European families make it. They make it work when they have a vehicle. They make it work with small 4-cylinder turbo-powered vehicles or diesel hybrid type vehicles. Europeans make it work. 450 million of them somehow can travel all of Europe with their vehicles. But in America and Canada, we got to have the big fat truck. And these automakers are lazy. They're behind the times. And they're looking for the government to bail them out. And it's been working beautifully for 60 plus years. Why change it? And that's your story. And I'm sticking to it. I love America. I love Canada. Sure. Yeah. But, we're kind of blowing it. In any event, there you go. Is everyone having fun here? The big T, those fuel prices are nothing. $2.02 per liter where we are. That's $7.40 a gallon US. Summer House Fast, if you're going to talk about political candidates, did you hear how the judge in the Carroll defamation suit against Trump was a mentor to the lead defense counsel years ago working at the same firm? Again, I don't even follow that case. I couldn't care less. I'm here to make money. Good morning, number 128. Go Sofi. Let's go, baby. What's going on here? What's happening? Good morning from Lorraine, 134, Flint Creek, 135, Frumbler, 139. We're about ready to open here. Let's go, kids. Savage on Wall Street, good morning, simpletons, degenerates. JP Morgan said we're placing our competition on negative watch list since we're going to take our lunch. There you go. What else is going on here? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Who else? Thank you all. Come on, Sofi, let's go. 145 says Marcus. Let's get this market going. We're opening in 3 minutes, everybody. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining in. Let's make some dough in this market and, just grab these easy dollars. You option writers out there are going to have a field day. Chicken tax or no chicken tax. It doesn't matter who's in the White House. It doesn't matter who's in your city hall. It doesn't matter who your governor is. It doesn't matter at all who runs the Senate or the Congress. If you're an option writer, you do it right. You're going to make the kind of money in your own way that the hedge funds make for themselves. And if I can help push you into the upper middle class area of success, then I'm a happy guy. And that is the bottom line. I'm just trying to get you guys to make the kind of money that you deserve. $30,000 a month US from option premiums should be your target. That's $360,000 a year. That should get you guys a little higher than the middle class that some of you have been working around already, and I'm excited for all of you. Thank you all so much for joining us. Larry is about to hit the bells. We're going to get this party started. We have 146 thumbs ups. Thank you guys for getting us into triple digits already. We're 54 away from 200. If you can find a way to hit the thumbs up button, please do. We love you for it. And I'm excited for you guys. This is going to be just a wonderful way to make money this year. The option writing business. It's there for the taking. All right, we're at 9:02 on Sofi, 9:03. So we're surging up again here. We'll find out how the market wants to react with the opening coming up. Thank you all. Alberto says, Larry, hope all is well. Constantine, good morning, everybody. Let's go have a green day. JR, that's a good point. Of course, it doesn't matter the politics in the country. Option writing makes us money. It doesn't matter. Exactly. It doesn't matter. We don't care. Time for another rocket ship moon market. There you go. Let's make this happen, kids. Lair, thanks, pal. If you're here, I think you are. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button for us today. Welcome to the party, everybody. And let's see what's going on. See what's going to happen. Thank you, kids. There we go. And we're ready to begin running along here. Alberto, I'm ready just in case he's not there. Pat, Ameritrade or Fidelity platforms, who likes what? Alberto, Beach, Larry, we're here. Yeah, baby, we're here, ready to roll, ready to take in the wins that have been handed to us. Let's keep them going. Option writing, poor man cover call writing, cash secured put writing, credit spreads. There's all kinds of ways to make money in this market. And you figure out the one you love the most. Let's see what gives. 9:03 on Sofi. Let's see what the opening looks like when we start this off. And we'll watch the first hour and see what's going on. Larry, thank you, my friend. The bells have been rung by our man on the job again. Thank you, my friend. Flint, Bruce, JR, all my stock pals. Let's get the dinero today. JR, the bells. Way to go, Larry. Neat. This is Richard. Yes, we are. We say hi to the Knights of Knee, of course. You never miss on those guys. Thank you all, and join us for the party today. Let's see just what this market has in store for you. It's easy money from option traders. I'll tell you that. The bets that some of these guys make are so ridiculous. The premiums that they pay are so high, you can't help but make money off of option traders. You can't. It's just handed to you. JR, Pat Merkley, Tasty Trade. That's the one I like. Flint, we need lunch, Alberto. We need to lunch. Double D, you like Ameritrade? I'm still learning Tasty Trade. There you go. There's different opinions on what platforms work. Depends where you live. America, Canada, UK, Europe. To each his own. Thank you all. Welcome to the party, pals. Oil is up 8 cents at the moment, trying a rally. Dow's down 78, S&P down 11, and NASDAQ down 56. That was the last report I had before the markets. Let's get this market opening here. SoFi 909 at the moment. We're just settling up and starting to start off. We'll keep an eye on this. 22-point dip, I think, on the Dow at this point. 3 on S&P, 22 on NASDAQ right now. SoFi 914. We were at $8.98, $9 all pre-market. We're now 912, 914 at the moment. SoFi opening volume this morning, 6.6 million to start. Yesterday's opening market trade, 30 million. You remember yesterday? 30 million yesterday, first trade of the day, now 6.6. This is still above normal, but yeah, yesterday was something else, wasn't it? Thank you all for being here. I love you. Fantastic. Dude, I'm on Tasty Trade. I love it. I also use Vanguard for my retirement account. Both have options. Tasty is better. At Flint, that's more like it. SoFi, go baby, go. Splair 918. Fool of a Took, number 155. Thumbs up. Splair, I love First Trade, but my deposit goes to Chicago. Flint, I like Moomoo as a platform. I use 3. Splair or Houston, I'm not getting smart out of that long banking address. I'm not sure what that means. Welcome, everybody. We're down 50 points on the Dow. We're down 3 on S&P, 15 on the NASDAQ market. Just opening now. Rocket Lab down 7 cents. SoFi 914 down a penny. That's all. It's not given up yet anything here. 7.2 million now. The low of the session, $9, and now we're at 914. So high of 922 already on SoFi. Down 22 on GameStop. The Qs are down 70 cents. Spiders are down 40. AI down 28. Rocket Lab down 7. Early indications. We're now looking at SoFi at 920, up 3 as it starts to move a little higher. Apple down 61. Enphase down 72. Netflix down $10. Adobe down $1.30. Nvidia up $7. Tesla up $2.50 right now. Some mixed results early on. 51-point drop on the Dow. 924 on your SoFi. Up 7 cents now on the session for SoFi. This is the high of the day, 924 at the moment. All right, kids. Welcome all. JR, it's going green, baby. It's going green. And I mentioned this earlier today. If you're part of my Gold Bagel family, you were here for the pre-market show, the Trade Alert show that I do every morning for Gold Bagel members. I mentioned this morning, yesterday, between what was trading on NASDAQ and what traded in the pre-market for SoFi, I put those together, 310 million shares changed hands yesterday on SoFi. Average 40 million a day. To give you a perspective, almost 8 times normal volume. Half of that volume at least was day trading. Simply put, people buying 1,000 shares for $9, selling it for $9.10, buying 1,000 for $9.05, selling it for $9.15, shorting it at $9.20, buying it at $9.10. In and out trading all day long by day traders. At least 150, 160 million of that trading was done by those guys. Now, that covers hedge funds as well, not just retail investors. However, I'm guessing 100 to 150 million shares of trading yesterday was done by 2 distinct investors. Buyers who are looking for the long term now, who are buying in at $9, saying this company is a moneymaker. They're going to make a lot more money in the next 3 years than they're already showing. This stock is way undervalued. I'm buying it today for 5 years. I'm going to get at least $50 for this thing or more. The sellers who sold yesterday in the 9 to 9.40 range could have been people who bought 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and or months ago in the $7, $8 level, got a nice little profit, took their money and ran because they saw the stock reach 10, go back to 7, came back to 9, and got out because they figured, I don't want to get caught a second time. Now, some of those folks are thinking, I'll sell at 9.25 and I'll buy it back at $7. Well, they're waiting. It's at 9.23 right now, up 7 cents. It hasn't backed off yet. In any event, the stock will be fluctuating back and forth, but a big bunch of buying came in yesterday, much more than normal, 8 times normal, and at least 150 million, in my opinion, which would be like 3 to 4 days of trading, picked up stock for the next number of years. We still have not had major institutions make a move into the stock because it's under $10 a share. We have not got a lot of pension funds and hedge funds and others coming in here because it is not yet an S&P 500 rated company. This company has to get into the S&P 500 to be legitimate enough to be acquired for a 10, 20-year hold by pension funds and mutual funds. It'll happen, but not this morning. But it will happen. It's coming down the pipe. All right, 920 something, 911. We're jumping around here, guys. I'm not even sure what to believe right now on the quote. 914, the high of 924, the low of $9. We've now traded 9.9 million, about 10 million in 7 minutes. So it's much more than normal, but not like yesterday morning, which is understandable because the earnings came out yesterday. So let's see how it plays. 916, 914. We're right around the break-even line for Sofi at the moment. And we'll see just how it plays itself out. Welcome all. Pat Merkley says, did anyone else hear that Wedbush has already tried Sofi and it remains a sell with a share price of $3? Wedbush, Pat, has already analyzed Sofi stock earnings and remains a bear, very obnoxious bear. I mentioned this last week. I've told viewers here who are regulars that no matter how well they do, no matter what the numbers are, no matter where the profits are coming from, no matter what the company says, whatever, there will be analysts out there who will not change their minds. They will be steadfast in their negativity. This was the case with Tesla. Even when Tesla was becoming a member of the S&P 500 3-4 years ago, there were analysts calling Tesla stock $20 a share when it was trading at $1,000. There were analysts calling it a $200 share when it was 4,000 shares. This is pre-split. This will never end, and we have our friends here on Sofi too. Splair Yahoo is very positively talking yesterday about Sofi. In case that's helpful, Robert number 158. Pat, I'm all in on Sofi. Ready to liquidate some gold and silver, invest substantially more. Richard Carlin, Goldman Sachs maintains Sofi at a neutral, up to 8 from 7. There you go, a little move right there. You're going to get this all week long. And you cannot let it get to you. Do not let it bother you. Don't let it phase you. You have to be a viewer of Sofi like you've been watching it now for 2-3 years. There are people who've been watching this stock from day one, and I'm thinking the next 2-3 years will be really good because the earnings now will compound every quarter. That's what's coming up now. That's my opinion on it, but hey, I'm an old man. What do I know? What can I say? We're down 25 on the Dow. We're negative a little, but not so much. We're not even down 0.1% on the Dow. S&P's down 2 points, nothing. NASDAQ down 19 points, 0.125%. It's a nothing burger here. Oil is up 24 cents. We're not going anywhere at the moment. We're going to see what happens here. What can I say? U.S. home prices hit new high in November. Case Schiller says, there's a reason for that. It's called inflation. the little word known as inflation raises prices of something like real estate. It does, but if inflation and higher interest rates happen at the same time, one negates the other. And this is why home sales are down. They're not surging because the cost of cash to buy higher priced real estate doesn't add up for the middle class. This is why you're noticing high-end mansions going for top dollar, but average condos and regular homes, not so much. Also, if you're sitting on a house you bought for $400,000 a few years ago, you locked in a 3% mortgage back then, your house is now worth $500,000. Why would you sell it? Why would you give up a house where you have to turn around and buy another house for $500,000 at 6% or 7% mortgage? Why would you do that to yourself? You've not made any money. You've technically made money from 400 to 500, but you got to spend 500 to get the next house. There's no win here. The only way you win is if you're a retiree and you're moving to somewhere else in the Sun Belt. Maybe you're coming down to California or Arizona, Florida, Texas, whatever. You sell your house in Michigan or in Illinois or New York State or Connecticut or somewhere up north for top dollar, but you don't buy anything when you come down south. You lease down south and you put the money to work. The equity you have, 200,000, 400,000 equity, whatever the equity is on whatever you sold, you now live off of that plus your Social Security. Learn to write options and live well. You don't need to buy a house. Who needs to buy a house? What do you need a house for? Leasing is easy. Interesting, isn't it? Welcome all. It's nice to have you here. JR, I'm not selling my Sofi option writing, baby. Pat Murphy, that's us. Exactly. That's our thought. 912 right now, 913 range on Sofi. The volume at the moment, 12 minutes into the session, 13 million shares approximately. So about a million a minute to start. This is going to slump a little, but 25 million, 30 million shares the first hour could be the possible number. Looks okay. Rocket Lab 503 down 11. AI down 28 cents. Spiders are down 29 cents. The Qs are down 77. GameStop just 11 cents lower. We're down 3 on SoFi. Apple down 66 cents. We don't have any big sell-off happening here. Enphase down 17. Netflix down $8, but it's had a big run the last week. Adobe is down $1.40. Big deal. This thing is $628. It's been running. NVIDIA higher, 420. Tesla up 194. Unity is down 60. Google is up a dime. Moderna down 148. Cisco's down 12 cents. Pfizer's up 15 today. IBM down a nickel. HPQ down 5-6 cents. Nothing serious here. Microsoft up 240. Amazon down 61 cents at $160 a share. We got nothing going on. Home Depot unchanged. Vanik Semiconductors 190.22 down 26 cents. Goldman up 350. The big banks are higher. Boeing down 380, Meta up 260, Target down 279, JP Morgan up 98 cents, up $1. Costco down 266, Walmart down 125, Disney down 70 cents, American Airlines down 14, AMC down 14 cents, DraftKings up a penny, and Royal Caribbean down 78 cents. That's what I've seen this morning. A mixed bag. Some negative, some positive. The Dow down just 13 points. 913 on your SoFi. Down 3 cents. There is no sell wave coming in, but volatility will be there. I think so. That's to be expected. 13.6 million traded now in 14 minutes. There you go. That is SoFi right now. Thank you all. Pat Merkley, new house at 301.2. We ain't selling. Starting to get phone calls from realtors looking for inventory. No, thank you. JJ, it's a nice place to visit. Don't buy a house there. Honestly, for a vacation space here in Germany, renting an apartment is very cheap. If you're early, I'm only 3 years distance to the newest people here, and my rent is almost $200 lower at 390 euros. Rock and roll. Splair, for 35 square meters and balcony, it's definitely enough and worth it to keep that contract as long as possible. That's not a bad rent. Yeah, New York rent is what, 3,000 to 5,000 a month, depending on what kind of unit you're getting. But then rent in Austin, Texas is much higher. Rent in Dallas has been higher. Certain cities, on the decline. Rents aren't an issue, but it's a question: where do you want to live? Where do you want to be? It's the key right there. It's been an interesting few years here in North America. A lot of Canadians and Americans decided that during COVID, they would become nomads. They would get RVs and they would hit the road. And a number of people did that for a couple of years. They lived in RVs on what's known as BLM land, Bureau of Land Management, U.S. government land for nothing, or they lived in trailer parks for a couple $100 a month in basic rent. Others just traveled from place to place, and some lived in Walmart parking lots off and on, and what have you. I mean, some folks really shut it down. It's been an interesting time, and of course, we see here all the time, constantly. We see news stories and articles about the homeless in California and Oregon and mainly Seattle, Washington. People living in RVs full time that have full-time jobs because they cannot get an apartment in San Jose, California, Cupertino, anywhere in the San Jose area. They cannot get a two-bedroom for $4,000 a month. They just can't afford it, and so they're in RVs that were 15 grand used, that they've parked in certain spots, and they're living in them for months on end, in years in some cases. And then there are the retirees who are really up against it. They're in their 60s, health issues, hanging on to become a Medicare person and living off of Social Security, and they don't qualify for an apartment anywhere in San Jose. They are definitely out. And there are people living in tents year round. The homeless that have the cash flow homeless, and then there are those that are down and outers. It is a sad story, and it is everywhere in the U.S. Of course, there are homeless in Canada too. But don't think Canada is a Shangri-La without homelessness. There's homelessness in Canada too. A lot of seniors living in RVs in Canada, and in Vancouver, it's bad. It's really bad. So anyway, there you go. Let's see. Bat Merkel, we did it. RV life is great. We're going out to the Keys again this spring, and I say more power to you. If you can get out with the RV and live the RV lifestyle that can be had, do it. I say go for it. Absolutely. If you become an option writer and you can write on the road, why not? Go see America and revisit places again. And yeah, absolutely. Well done, everybody. Anyway, there you go. Thank you all. Thank you, Splair, for all your comments today. You're awesome, buddy, as always. Appreciate you being here. We're down 11 on the Dow, just 11. We're down 8 cents on Rocket Lab, down 26 on AI. I'm wondering if this first half hour is a little dip and then we go higher again. I'm just wondering. This market is poised to go. It just is not interested in crapping out. Sorry, but I just don't see it. I see too much money on the sidelines. I heard this morning, by the way, that Janet Yellen was, I think she gave a speech somewhere the other day. A lot of the bond people watch everything she says. And interestingly enough, the United States economy is doing better than expected because there's no recession. There's no evidence of a recession at the moment. Even a soft landing isn't likely because there isn't anything to land on. This economy is holding its own. The U.S. government is hauling in more money in tax revenue than expected. The U.S. Treasury is saying to the bond market, we're not in need of as much money from you bond buyers as we thought we might need because tax revenues are higher. The U.S. economy is delivering jobs and it's delivering taxes to governments in the federal level, state level, county, city. Across the board, prosperity? No. Every state, county, and every city in America booming? No. But overall, the big picture, especially the federal government, they don't need as much cash for the bond market. And all of a sudden, there are hedge funds, pension funds, mutual funds that are sitting on trillions of dollars of cash that need to put it to work. And they were hoping to get 4.5%, 5% interest on their money from the government of the United States. All of a sudden, they can't get it all working at that level anymore. They have to buy bonds that are out there from those willing to sell bonds that are out there. And so there are pension funds, hedge funds, and others who are buying up U.S. treasuries to fill their need of high interest rate revenue, of some kind of interest rate revenue. Most interesting revelation this morning, which means that we're looking at interest rates that instead of the 10-year treasury paying 4.1 to 4.2, 4.3%, it's at 4.04%. And these funds in America cannot buy British 10-year bonds. They cannot buy German 10-year bonds. They are restricted to American bonds. They have to buy domestic. And so they're bidding up the value of U.S. bonds, which brings down the interest yield. Amazing. The market takes care of itself, and the Fed guides the market forward from time to time. Now what we need is a lowering of inflation, serious lowering from here. I mean, down to the 2.5 level to really bring it down. That will convince the Fed that, okay, we could consider easing interest rates, which would be good for America because the American government will pay less in interest. So will all the states and cities, and any borrower, they will pay less in interest for money borrowed, which means more capital in the system, more jobs, more prosperity. Interesting how this is working out. Okay. Let's see. This is exactly what I did. I listened to Uncle Bruce and I wrote in between scotches on the beach. Well done, Pat. I love this. Sofi and YouTubers hold or double down. There you go. Giddy up, everybody. 922 on the Sofi, 924, 925. We're at the high of the day right now. I think we've just broken the high of the day for Sofi. 925, 927 was just set a moment ago. Volume now 17 million in 22 minutes. That's what's going on Sofi. Very active compared to a normal day, and it's higher again. That's interesting. 1468 on GameStop, down a dime. The Qs are down 79 cents, but the spiders are only down 11. We've got AI down 31 cents. Rocket Lab down 9. The Dow off 19 measly points. That's it. A 1 point drop in S&P. This is a nothing burger. And the NASDAQ down 23 points. It looks like the market wants to go higher. That's what the market wants to be doing right now. Way to go, Pat, says JR. Well done, buddy. Grab an RV, travel America, right options, hit the beach, live the life, see the country. Why not? This is the world available to those of you out there. Look, if you want to travel the world, I know many of you have fantasized about doing it. You just haven't done it yet for every reason imaginable. It's okay. I'm not mad at you. I understand. But those of you out there who really, you want to change your life and travel the world for the next 2 to 3 years, see places that you saw when you were a college kid, you took a gap year 30 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, become an option writer. Become an option writer, a full-time option writer, quit your day job, do this for a year, and then start traveling. You can take this telephone anywhere you go. This is your account. You're mobile. You're able to write options from anywhere on the planet. You just need an internet connection. There is no excuse to not do it. Now, for some of you, you might become slow travelers where you will, you're thinking, okay, we're going to change our lives. We're going to retire. We're selling our house here in the north and we're moving to the south. But what we're going to do is we're going to sell everything up north. We're going to offload the 25-year-old furniture and all this crap. We're going to have maybe a storage unit left with all of our, keepsakes and heirlooms. We'll store it in a storage unit or with, brothers and sisters and what have you, kids' houses, whatever. And we're selling our cars And we're out of here on the 1st of June, and we're traveling the world now. And we'll be back for Christmas time, maybe. We'll be back from time to time in the US, yes, but we're now essentially nomads. And we're going to do the Airbnb thing, but instead of doing a week here and a week there, we're going to spend a month or two at a time in various cities around the world, various countries. And if we go to country number one and rent a place for a week and we like it, we'll find a place that will take for 2 months and we'll stay there for 2 months. If we don't like it after the first week, we'll get on a train and in Europe, train another country, go to another country, or within the same country, go to another city or town and set up there and find a place we like in an area we like. And we are going to do Europe for 6 months, come back for a month in the US, spend some time with relatives, friends, or an Airbnb. And then we're gone again. And we're heading to Asia for 6 months. We're going to do Australia. We're going to do New Zealand. We're going to do South America. We're going to go where we've always wanted to go, but we've never done it. And we might rent an RV in Australia for 2 months. We might rent an RV for South America. We might not. It's your call, how you want to do it. But you're trading your account from your phone, your mobile, and you're hanging out with Uncle Bruce during the day, whatever time frame it is. You're writing your contracts, and you're enjoying your life from an angle you never thought you'd get for at least another 15, 20 years. You're doing it now while you're young and healthy. This is the time. JR, okay, I've always thought that the RV life would be expensive, but right options in travel, now that's a thought. Splair, I started learning another language after 1 or 2 hours of Netherlands and Portuguese language lessons to find out which one is easier. And then 1 and 2 years of traveling with pets starts. There you go. Rock and roll, Splair. So many possibilities. Some of you folks out there will be house sitters. You'll become that. You'll find out that you can be a house sitter for a family in Spain for a month. You can be a house sitter for a house in France for a month or two. You can be a house sitter for a home in Italy. You'll find those connections because there are groups that specialize in placing people into that. You may find that you are an RVer in Germany. You may find that you're an RVer in all of Europe. You're an Airbnb person. You'll figure it out. It's so easy to find a pillow to lie on. It's so simple. You're never going to be homeless. If you've got cash flow, you're never homeless. There you go. Luke, you know what? We've almost got 20 million volume on that SoFi. It's 935 right now on SoFi. We're up, 19 cents. High today, 937. Volume, 20,800,000 in 27 minutes. Giddy up, baby. We're at the high of the day on SoFi with a 937 print. We're going higher. And there you go. JJ, fly, SoFi, fly. Vilbus, my wife got laid off from her day job that she had grown to hate. So now she's learning, leaning into our eBay sales and learning the stocks. I already work from home, and we will be RV shopping sooner rather than later. And there you go, right there. The opportunity of a lifetime. Become mobile, and do not get stuck with another 5-year commitment at a crap job, at crap money with crap benefits. No. Butter, says Luke, it's going up there like butter. Splair, high today for GameStop as well. 1480. Yep, we're up a penny here. We're up a little bit now. Touchgrass, yesterday's high was 945 on your SoFi, 937, 938 right now. And the high was 945. We might go through 10 today. How about that? Would you like $10 a share today? Would you be happy with that, kids? Wouldn't that be fun? 938 right now on SoFi. At the moment, we're rolling. We're up 21 cents. We're 30 minutes into our session right now for the day. SoFi volume, I'm showing 21.7 million and still coming on. There you go, kids. 939, another high of the day, another high trade. 939 on SoFi. Giddy up, guys. 6 cents away from the high of the day yesterday. It only took 20 million shares to pop it back to the high of the day yesterday. Where's the selling? You kind of wonder. 310 million traded yesterday. Why aren't there 80 million shares for sale to stop the stock from going to 945? It isn't there anymore. It's been taken out. It's gone. It's gone. The stock's going higher. It's going into a new range. Welcome to the party, pal. That's my hunch. That's how I feel it seems to be moving. 331 gain, 3.3 gain on the Dow. The Dow is green right now. We're green on the Dow. 939 on your Sofi. 939 on Sofi. Right at the moment, get ready. See what's going to happen here. Kind of fun, isn't it? Splair, anyone bought these huge packages of Amazon items? Are they received through the guarantee return or sell for cheap? Yeah, we see YouTube videos all the time. People buy these returns, buy these huge containers. You got to be into the garage sale business and eBaying business to want to do that. But there are some folks who like doing it. More power to them. CC, delightful to make $100 while you drink coffee. Delightful. It's kind of nice. You gotta love it. For some of you, you're just gonna get in your car, your SUV, your truck, whatever you got, and you're gonna go driving. You're gonna drive America, and some of you are gonna pretend or want to say, you know what we're gonna do? Starting in the spring of 2024, my wife and I are going to visit every major league ballpark in the United States for a baseball game. We're going to see every baseball team play in their home arenas across the United States and Toronto in Canada. And this is going to be a full 6-month vacation. We got the map out. We live here. We're going to start here, and here's the route. And we're going to see every baseball team play in their home ballpark for like a week across the United States. What a great vacay. How about next NFL season? Next year, NFL, I'm going to see 18 football games at 18 arenas, football games or more, between Sunday games or Thursday games, Saturday NFL games, Sunday NFL games, Monday night NFL games. I can put together an itinerary of all the ballparks, the NFL football ballparks in one season. How about that? Or NHL hockey. I'm going to see every NHL hockey team play in their home rink across North America. My wife and I are going to drive it. We're going to do the driving, and it's not a race. How about that? Just so many ways to play this game. Do stuff you've never thought you could ever think of doing. How about that? Richard Carlin. Here come the sellers, bros. Availables. Amazon has turned into a trash heap. Just a name on cheap, crappy overseas importers selling you crap. It's not Amazon of 10 years ago. There you go. Giddy up, everybody, and welcome to the party, pals. It's great to have you all here with us. We're down 39 on the Dow. A little sell wave has come in. Expect that. It's the computer-generated trading, AI. You're going to get sell waves, buy waves. Get ready. The consumer confidence level in the United States is at its highest level since December 2021. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that job openings in the U.S. rise to 9 million open jobs from 8.9 million open jobs? Interesting. Consumer confidence index rises to 114.8 in January, up from 108.1. Well, isn't that interesting? Who's the president of the United States right now? Is it Donald Trump, or is it President Kennedy, or is it Eisenhower, or is it Obama? Who's the president right now? Oh, it's Joe Biden. Oh, wow. Look at that. The consumer confidence numbers, highest since December 21. Oh, my. Wow. Gee. Well, that's got to be because of what Trump did back when he got elected. I mean, that's got to be it. I mean, that's what all pundits are going to say, isn't it? Let's go to Fox News and see what they say about it. I'm sure they'll give us the story. I don't know. CC, my favorite RV memory, Thermopolis, Wyoming, hot springs, water parks, and dinosaur dig museum. There you go. Talk about seeing the national parks of the United States and Canada in an RV. Yeah, you want to see some outdoor beauty. Wow. Get away from the rat race. How about that? Grab an RV. And off you go. Buy a used one that's like 4 or 5 years old, half the price of a new one. Dedicate a budget for maintenance, and forget the house. Like, if you don't have a home or an apartment that's costing you money to not be in it, put the money into the RV, call that rent, and whatever it costs to run it, and see the world. I've wanted to see those dinos in Thermopolis for a while, says Bilbus. There you go. Again, it's up to you, kids. Travel on a cheap one-way ticket from America to Europe. Travel to Dubai on Emirates and use Dubai as your hub to see the world from there, flying Emirates everywhere, building those points with Emirates through your credit cards, and then upgrading from time to time to business class seats. Yeah, how about that? Avoid American Airlines at all costs and fly international with foreign carriers in nice new planes. That's kind of cool. Who knows? I see myself in the 30s with an RV and a camera on the RV. Love the videos from Traveling Roberts. There you go. JR, Thermopolis is an interesting place in Wyoming for sure. There you go. You know, folks go to Disneyland. They go to Disney World with an RV, and they spend a week or so at their RV with all the amenities and security. Florida RVing and up the East Coast during the summertime, right up into Canada, the Maritimes. My goodness, beautiful. So many opportunities, so many places to discover that you would never go to any other way. Yes, indeed. CC, I took my 12-year-old dino crazy kid, and he got to work in the lab making molds of freshly dug bones. Wow. Stephen Butler, I'm 174 on that thumbs up meter of yours, Bruce. 174 is the thumbs up meter right now. Thank you, everybody, for helping out, getting us to 200 here. It is appreciated. We're down 21, 26 on the Dow. Nothing. We're down 5 on S&P. We're down 42 on NASDAQ. We're 36 minutes into the market. We're not crapping out at all. A buy wave comes in here and we've got a shot. We're gone again. Oil up 27 cents. I mean, whoop-de-doo, nothing. SoFi 914, 915. Hit a high of, was it 939 today? That's just a taste of probably what's to come. There just isn't stock there. 940, actually. We touched 940. Yesterday's high, 945. Here we are, 37 minutes in. Where is the selling on SoFi? Where are the 200 million shares dying to get out? It's not happening. 26 million shares traded already, and we're not going anywhere. I think we can go higher. That's just me, though. We'll have volatility, though. We're already seeing it. There'll be more. Get ready for it. We're down a nickel on GameStop. That's it. Just a nickel. 1473, the high 1482. We just set that about 10, 15 minutes ago. 300,000 shares, waiting for Mr. Cohen to tell us what he's doing. SoFi just went green again, 917. Apple down 65 cents. Big deal. Enphase is up 78. Netflix down 620. Adobe down 497. Nvidia is up $6. Tesla's up $3, 193.97 now. There you go. Everybody. Unity down 72, Google down 84, Moderna down $2, Cisco down 19, Pfizer's up 31 cents. It was positive earlier today. IBM up 24. It was negative. HPQ is up 3. Microsoft is green, holding 70 cents. Amazon down 64 cents. Home Depot is up $1. Vanex Semiconductors down 43 cents. Goldman Sachs 235 to the good side. Boeing down 380. Meta, Facebook up 440. Target down $1.09. JB Morgan up $1. Costco up down 115. Walmart down 49. Disney down 88. American Airlines down 18. AMC down a dime. DraftKings up 6 cents. Royal Caribbean down 81 cents. Welcome everybody to the party, pal. Fantasize about where you want to be and what do you want to be doing. If you didn't have to work and you could travel unlimited anywhere in the world, anytime you want, any way you want, what would you want to do? What would it be? If you could be an option writer full-time, do your trading off of your laptop, off of your iPad, from your phone, your mobile, and you were free and clear of all your working obligations, what would you want to do? Would you and your wife pack up and go? Would you take your kids around the world and homeschool them for a year or 2 years with an around-the-world trip, showing these kids 50 different countries in 24 months? Would you do something like that? Would that have an impact on their viewpoint of the world? Get the hell out of Canada, get the hell out of America, get out of Britain, get out of the UK, get out of Europe, period, and travel the world to show your children let's take a look at some other parts of this planet, get a feel for it. Let's go to some really nice places and some different places. Yeah, let's check it out, see what you think. That might change perceptions. That might take your teenagers into a different direction in their lives. One never knows. I know that for Jennifer and I, we took Jen Jr. with us. We moved to the Cayman Islands. We did a long extended trip into Europe. And then our daughter has now lived a year in Germany, saw that world from a different angle, and has traveled quite a bit since. Maybe that's what some people need. And for ourselves, what can I say? It's maybe a return to our youth, or it's a discovery. It's something we've never been able to do before. How about that? I don't know. Anyway, there you go. Bagel Babe, I would spend time with my folks. Save up to buy a house. It can be done. Bagel Babe saying 181 on the thumbs up. Peter Bruce, you're up there, 181, and it's climbing. Thank you all. We are zooming in, pardon me, on 200 thumbs ups. Thank you all. They're coming together. 19 away now. Just 19 away. Thank you all for the thumbs ups. If you're able to hit that button, giving us a little more, it is appreciated. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you all new members. Thank you new subscribers. Welcome aboard, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the show and learning a little bit about the markets. Like I said, here on this channel, we talk about being option writers. It's what we talk about here. Our dream is to become independent, not be reliant on an organization any longer where you could get laid off at any time, or your successful job at your successful company gets eliminated because your company got bought up by somebody else, and your job is held by the owner's son at the company that's taking you out, and you're gone because they're not laying off the kid, they're laying you off. There are people out there who have no idea how vulnerable they are to being extinguished at their jobs. They really don't understand the bigger picture. And if I'm able to help any out there to understand what is capable of happening, I'm happy to help any way I can. But anyway, it is what it is. Savage of Wall Street, boom! I sold 30 Sofi $10 covered calls for March. And some kind person gave me 60 cents a contract. How lovely. Thank you very much. Take me out. I'll give back nothing. I roll, and I'll just take more if needed. Interesting. Bobby, I'd like to spend a few months in Croatia. If we're daydreaming, what about a few months in Greece? And how about a trip to Turkey? How about a trip to, I don't know, Africa, some countries in Africa, seeing some parts of India perhaps, going to Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, endless. Japan. I would love to spend a month or two in Japan. I really would like to spend a long time, like a slow vacay in Japan. I would love to travel Japan from the one tip to the other, 1,500 miles of distance. It's not just Tokyo. Japan is not Tokyo. There's so much more to it. I would love to do that. I'd love to see more of Asia than that. Singapore is on my list as well. Hey, Bali. I'd love to see Bali. Of course, Australia, New Zealand. Of course. Yep, I really would like to do it. I think that once you start traveling, what happens is once you get going, you meet people on the road that have been to other places you haven't been, and you compare notes because they're asking you where you've been, and you ask them where they've been, and now you start comparing back and forth, and you begin to realize, oh yeah, this place would be a great to go. This would be a great place to go. I hadn't thought of that place. And you'll find out there that there are airfares in Asia that are rock bottom cheap. There are ways to travel Europe super cheap with rail passes, for example. Never ending. You can't see it all. You'll also figure that out. The more you travel, the more you realize you can't see it all. You'll see a lot, but you're not going to see it all. Like I said, what can I say? It's a question of what turns you on. We are down 21 on the down. Sofi at 910. We have been as low as 895, as high as 940 today, and we're going to be fluctuating back and forth all the time on Sofi. GameStop down cents. The Qs are down 134. The spiders are down 53. AI down 39. Rocket Lab down 12. There's nothing bad happening out there. It's just a typical new day in the markets. Splair, oh yes, Japan is really lovely, and not just Tokyo. I'm watching another Kevin on YouTube and his channel, Neon Go. There are so many great historical places everywhere spread throughout Japan. Clay, 940 is a weird price level for Sofi. Hit twice yesterday and rejected from there harshly this morning. What's going up there? What's going on over there? Splair, beautiful temples and beautiful landscapes for Japan. Yes, gorgeous. I saw some beautiful videos by Kara and Nate, who I really enjoy watching. Kara and Nate, travelers, 30-somethings, young 30-somethings. They've been to Japan many times, and they love to go back, and I can see why, because they've really figured it out. They do spend time in Tokyo, but they've also been outside Tokyo, and pretty neat. I would very much like to travel bullet trains in Japan as well. No question. Anyway, there you go. Just all kinds of possibilities out there, kids. You just got to want it bad enough. You got to want the change to embrace it and make it a reality, because no one's going to do it for you. You have to do it yourself. I've got classes here on how to write options. 17 of them. Come on in, check them out one at a time, and start with number one. Learn how to write options while you're writing options at the same time, and get smarter at it each day, each week, and it will come around for you. I recommend traveling for free, says Savage of Wall Street, between hotel points, airline points, and travel certificates and credits. You can take a $20,000 vacation, and maybe with $3,000 out of pocket. Mainly food, great food, and that's something I would love to experience in some of these countries. I agree. You do this. You do some studying on credit card promotions and make a switch here and there, and grab credit cards that offer you these massive points and lounge access to airports around the world. That too can be something important. Beach Boy Savage, it is almost a fantasy thing. Sofi moves up, right covered calls, buy back execute puts, down, buy back covered calls, buy back execute. Life is so rewarding between diapers sometimes. This is great. Savage of Wall Street, Tokyo is awesome. The bullet train from Tokyo to Kyoto is something else. You're never going to have your employer take you there. Don't count on your employer ever sending you to Japan for an all-expense-paid holiday. They'll do it. The top-end people in your company will go, but you're not going with them. You're on your own, pal. They're the ones who are going to go to the Masters. Some of the organizations that you folks work for, their top people get to go to the Masters or the U.S. Open in golf or tennis, or the Indianapolis 500 or the Kentucky Derby. You're never going to be taken there by your employer. You're on your own. Make it happen for yourself. Get out of these organizations that limit your potential. Become an option writer. Become self-employed. So much fun. Never a dull moment. We're down 37 on the Dow right now. Nothing much. Not even a tenth of a point. We're 48 minutes into the day here. This market wants to go higher. You notice yesterday it was flatlining, was down a little, and then at the end, the last hour and a half, 200-point gain on the Dow. We're setting up again for another run on the Dow. I think the markets want to go higher across the board. That's what I just sense it. I smell it. I don't know, just saying. What can I say? Savage of Wall Street. Oh, God, lounge access. The Centurion Lounge that American Express offers is amazeballs. Top shelf drinks for me. Champagne for the wife. Free food. Amazing. You go to some of these lounges, these first-class lounges and business-class lounges in different airports around the world. Massages are available. Shower facilities are available. I mean, we're talking traveling in style with gourmet meals, drinks, and everything else. Yeah, you learn the travel game through credit card points and hotel points and being able to switch points. Watch Kara and Nate. Watch those two. They have a secondary channel all about credit card travel and bonus points and everything else. I love those guys. You combine that with cash flow from writing options and always having a credit on your credit card, never being in hawk with your credit card, always being ahead of it, and earning these bonus points, especially with these platinum cards. where you immediately become a diamond member of these hotel programs. So every time you spend a night at these places, you're getting 10 times the points, 20 times the points, which are convertible into air points, sometimes at a bonus. I mean, it just goes on and on. There's some possibilities. It's a new life. It's a different life. Again, though, you got to really want it. One, Japan for a great sushi. Omakase at its best. Omakase. Well, there you go. Like I say, Japan, such potential. Such what a lovely country. Fantastic people. Safe. Man, efficient. Well run. Switzerland. You got to go to Switzerland. There's nothing like being in Switzerland for an extended period of time. And if you're an option writer or if you're a YouTuber, the market opens in the afternoon, like Splair knows. You got the whole mornings to do whatever you like. Early afternoons, it's wonderful. There's nothing like Zurich and Zermatt and any place in between to really explore Switzerland, explore Austria. Pretty nice, very family oriented, very safe, clean, efficient, and eye-opening. Just absolutely eye-opening when you come back to North America. Having been there a while, you cannot believe it. You can't believe how we blow it and how over there they got their act together. Savage on Wall Street, between diapers, colonoscopies, lack of sleep, and part-time work when I feel like it. Not bad, BG. If in Japan, you must do an omakase in the Shibuya district and must visit Kabukicho. I can't even pronounce these names. They sound great, though. Yep, there you go. Oh, yeah, we all know Switzerland is better than Germany, French-speaking mountain corner of Europe. You got to go to Switzerland. The big T, reversal culture shock. There you go. Yes, indeed. Reversal culture shock. You come back to Canada, the USA, and you got to go, you got to be kidding me. Why are we like this when they're like that? I thought we won the war. By winning the war, aren't we the winners overall? Not like this. We're not winning here. Something's wrong. Yeah, Pappy J, was that Kara and Nate? Yes, it was. Kara and Nate. That's the channel you want to check out. Great folks. I love those guys. Would love to meet them someday. Kara and Nate, absolutely. There you have it. They make some great videos, and they also have a secondary channel, and you can check that one out. All about traveling. Like I said, they've made videos on how to upgrade your business, your economy to business class, or how to get first class seating, or how to book hotels. They'll be on the road and they'll tell you, okay, we're staying at the so-and-so, and we took advantage of a promotional deal, and we switched points from this program to this program and put it over here, and we're in the Hilton here, and we're doing this with this airline, and on and on and on it goes. They're an incredible resource for that. So if you ever want to travel, you want to become an option writer / full-time traveler, full-time writer, and live abroad for a while in a slow motion kind of way without having to worry about visas and all kinds of entry documents. There are a million different places you can go easily to do this. Credit Savage, Switzerland made me always cry and realize then 20 years ago that Americans were getting fleeced. I told my girlfriend that we must travel like this some more. 20 years later, she's my wife, laughing out loud. Yeah. Well, you as taxpayers in Canada and America, you figure out very quickly when you go to Europe, you realize how else tax dollars can be spent. Other ways to spend actual tax dollars on infrastructure, education, healthcare, university, society itself. And you realize, my God, a city like Zurich, Switzerland, or Vienna, Austria, or wherever, Copenhagen and Stockholm and on. I mean, there's no pick whatever country, cities you want. There are some places over in Europe you will be blown away by the fact that this is funded. A lot of what I'm using as a visitor is funded by the taxpayers of this country through their taxes, and no one here is upset. These are the happiest people in the world. The satisfaction rate of many Europeans in their home countries is beyond what we'll ever see in ours. It's incredible. The big T, we pay a lot more, but you get a lot more, and you don't actually pay a lot more. There's so much misinformation out there. Studies have been done time and time again. The differential is a few percentage points. It is not double, triple, 90% of what you make is taxes. That's not true. Not true at all. Splair, I guess I'll have to live at least 6 months and 1 week outside of Germany to pay my taxes somewhere else, but I wouldn't abandon my little base camp in the middle of Europe. You got it pretty good where you are, Splair. You don't realize, again, when you're wherever you are, folks, I don't care where you're living in America, Canada, the UK, some of you feel where you are, it's terrible. And some of you are dead right. But some of you who are in Europe and elsewhere, you think it's terrible where you are. You haven't seen anything. You wait till you travel a little bit, see the rest of the planet. You leave California or New York State or Florida or Texas or Illinois, anywhere in the U.S. or Canada, go to Europe for a couple of months, not a couple of days, not a week. You will not absorb enough. You take a couple of months. As an option writer, you can do it, and you become a little bit of a local over there, and you begin to figure out, oh, I see what they're talking about now. Now I see the little things that are going on here. There are YouTubers out there who tell you the difference between living in North America and living full-time in Europe. They'll tell you the difference again and again, video after video after video after video, and they can back it up with facts, and you'll be shocked at the differences. If you open up your thinking and say, okay, let the outside in, rather than be closed in your own little world thinking you've got it the best, open up and take a look. It's amazing. Anyway, what can I say? Luca, I closed a bunch of cash you could put on Sofi for a juicy little profit. Thank you, Uncle B. And yes, a random neat. I'll watch the rerun later. Rock and roll there, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. And congratulations, all of you out there making money in the option market. We're down 74 points on the Dow. It's still 1/5 of a percentage point. Is it just a computer cell program going on? A little, whatever the term is, computer selling, or is it just a slack day? I don't know. We'll see. We're down 6 on S&P. We're down 45 on NASDAQ. We are not down by a bunch here. We got SoFi 898. We're going to fluctuate here. If it backs off, you look at writing more cash secured puts. It goes up, you buy back your cash secured put. We'll play the game and watch it go, but I think better days are definitely ahead for us here. Savage of Wall Street. My wife and I have talked about this covered call and cash secured put lifestyle. And after the numbers the past 2 years, we are seriously considering moving to Spain or Portugal, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and sell covered calls to live on. There you go. Spare, I bet anyways that life in the Netherlands or Portugal is much better. And maybe I just like the ocean and the clean cities, maybe. Big T, Spare, in the Netherlands, we have a saying, the grass of the neighbor is always greener, and we do the same here in America. In North America, we are the same around the world. We're all identical when it comes to this. You've got to get off your duff, get off your butt, and travel and see for yourself. But you got to give it time. Otherwise, you're kidding yourself. Savage of Wall Street, kids, this is not bullshit. This is real life. It's insane that I'm even contemplating retiring with my wife before we're 50. We've been taught to work hard and retire. That is BS. Start with class number 1. I tell you, if you are able to work remotely as it is, there is no reason why you can't be traveling the world whenever you want to be as a remote gig worker. Writing options on the side and working remotely, you got it made. And think about it this way. If you're living in Europe, anywhere in Europe, a month in France and a month in Germany and a month in the UK and then a month in Spain, well, however you do it, during the day, morning, early afternoon, you're doing your remote job. In the afternoon, the market opens up. And now you're doing your option trades. You're in business all the time under full control of your destiny. I tell you, it's another life. Blair, I understand that in two directions here. I'm not a lurker. Good morning, Bagel Familia. I'm on number 193. Good morning, everybody. Did I miss anything? Absolutely nothing. There's absolutely nothing going on. Welcome, our friends, all of you from around the world. Thank you for being with me today. I so appreciate it. I wish it was as exciting as yesterday, but we can't do that every day, but it is a fun time. We have 192 thumbs ups now. We need 8 more for the magic 200 thumbs up number. Those of you watching on the rerun, you know what to do out there. Hit that thumbs up button on reruns and get us over the 200, 250 mark, even 300 mark like yesterday. We thank you so much for that. It's absolutely fabulous. You guys are the best. Yeah, this morning, we got some movement here. We're down 14 on Rocket Lab, down 18 on Sofi, down 9 on GameStop. So what? Nothing burger. Apple down $1.75. Goldman still up 140. Cisco down a quarter. Tesla's up $4 today. We got Microsoft up 70 cents. Pfizer down 32. That's probably temporary. HBQ down to nickel. Big deal. Google is down 37 cents. Amazon down 45. We got NVIDIA up 750. Unity down 79, AI off just 44 cents, Adobe down 408, Spiders are down 60 cents, the Qs are down 126, Netflix 893 on the downside, IBM is up 55, Facebook up 480, got some gains, Home Depot up 96, and some slight losses. Nothing much really happening here. It's the day after earnings for Sofi, and so we're keeping a very close eye on it as we would normally. We're at 896. It doesn't matter. The stock will fluctuate. The lower it goes, cash secured puts start getting written here. The higher it goes, people buy back cash secured puts. Some folks are writing calls against my better judgment, but it's up to you how you want to do it. Some are writing calls and they're buying them back, in and out, back and forth. Not afraid to roll if necessary. $8.99 right now on Sofi. Sofi can pop 30, 40 cents in 1 minute at any time. We all know it. We've all seen it, and so we just respect it. Keep your eye on this market and don't let it get too far away from you. Condor writers, keep ahead of those markets. That's the key here as a Condor writer. Always, with your credit spreads or whatever, stay out of the money with your calls and your puts. Constantly roll to stay out of the money. That is the secret to success in this business, and it's easy money if you do it right. There are 17 classes available on my website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Head on over there and check out the classes. There's your web address right there. Check it out. And take a look at the classes available. There's the header of the website right there, and there is your tab for the classes right there. And then you've got number 1 and 2, how to buy, call, and put stock options, how to write, call, and put stock options, and explain all about them. How are they created? How they go up and down in value? Why they expire worthless? Why they're worth less money, even though stocks go higher? Calls still lose. Why is this going on with the options business? There's number 3, number 4, class 5 and 6, 7 and 8, writing put contracts, credit spreads, trading option butterfly spreads, poor man covered calls, rollover strategies, gold, Jerry, gold. Stink bids, stink offers, psychology of the markets. You've got to understand your competitors out there. What are they thinking when they take the opposite of your strategies? Advanced poor man covered call strategies, and how to use other people's money like iron condors, and how to fix option trades and add cash with smart credit spreads. There are ways to take money. If you need to have a one-on-one with me, even during market hours, you let me know. Get a hold of me with my email. And for $400, I'll spend an hour with you, even during the market, to help you with your trades. If you need to move to do rollovers or any other adjustments, let me know. I'll see what I can do. We'll try to figure out if you just want to have a one-on-one with me on the weekend where you're at home and everything is calm and quiet, the kids are out of the house and you can talk to me. We'll do a one-on-one on the weekend. Let me know with an email at brucefrommert@hotmail.com, and we'll see if we can get together when it works for you, and we'll try to make you smarter, even more deadly option writer, and you can really take the money off of these saps. There are people out there giving away money like you cannot believe. You've got to take it. There are trips waiting for you around the world that you can take, and it's just it's a crime if you don't take the money. It would just be a crying shame. Don't do it. Absolutely grab it. Thank you, everybody. Constantine Bruce, number 197, thank you, and thank you. CC, 40 years working in business, and this is the first time I feel like I am in control of my prosperity. Thank you, Uncle Bruce. This is what it's all about. Everyone listen to the credit, says I'm really just JR. The case in point, I wrote 4 Tesla February 16, 192.5 cash secured puts. And some gambler gave me $2,760. And then I wrote 4 March 15, 200 covered calls, and another gambler gave me $3,700. That's $6,460 just to sit back and wait 45 days. 7 weeks, I'm going to wait and just collect this money. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Savage, Uncle Bruce, wife and I sold 40 Sofi $7 cash secured puts for January 2025. We received an average of $168 in premiums per contract. You know, we don't feel like buying them back. We think we're going to take everything and give back nothing. We're going to let them expire worthless. And we will take $168 times 40. Anybody got a calculator out there? Do the math. How much money is that? 40 times $168. Thank you very much. This is a great country. 1, buy all the classes. Do not wait. Take the classes. Do not wait. Big T, I wish I had the spares cash for those trades. JR. Oops, sorry, Savage. I'm too used to your other handle name. Is JR. This, you can do iron condors with a lot less capital and then work to build up your account, or take Uncle Bruce's classes on poor man covered calls. I'm working on that, says the Big T. I'm working on it, Blair. Just in case, everybody, I'm wishing you a successful and relaxed day out there. Thank you, my friend. All the best to you as well. We are coming in on this 200 thumbs up meter here. We are now at 201. Who did it? Who did that? Thank you so very much, whoever hit those thumbs ups to get us there and through. 200 again today. Thank you. Splair, thank you. Savage of Wall Street. That's almost $7,000 for having our $28,000 parked for 12 months. Any bank willing to give you $7,000 on your 28 grand, 25% return. And that's if they wait till the end. Splair, thanks, TV buddy. Thank you. Savage of Wall Street. It's okay. It's all good here. Very interesting potentials here. We have folks who write cash secured puts, bring in $1.50. They buy them back for 80 cents. I got others who write them for $3, buy them back for $2. We got people writing covered calls that are bringing in $2.20, buy them for $1.80. We got people writing covered calls for $12, buy them back for $8. There's all kinds of ways to play these trades. It's all whatever comfort level you have. There's credit spreads where they bring in $300, $400, and they do that 10 times. They bring in $3-4 grand. They give back $1,000. There are some very generous people who give back pennies on the dollars that they bring in. Welcome to the party here at the Nakatomi Tower. It's nice to see winning again and again and again. Hans Gruber and his pals just are always having a bad day around here. They never win. They just don't ever win. Anyway, there it is. That is the story. I'm sticking to it. Thank you all for joining me here again today for another active day. I hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for becoming members. Thanks for the lessons. If you want one-on-ones, I'm here for you. We'll try to get you to a level where you too can say, hey, boss, screw you. I quit. I'm out of here. Oh, where will I be next week? Oh, I'll be in London. And my wife and I are going to be walking around Trafalgar Square. And we're going to take the kids, with us. Going to homeschool them for a year or two. A month or two from now, we might be in Germany. We're not sure yet. We could be in Copenhagen. You can always send me an email. I might get back to you. Send me a text if you like. I might be able to work for you remotely at triple the hourly rate that I was making as an employee, but I'll have to let you know how many hours I can give you for that. If you're in a pinch, you let me know. How about that? 982 on SoFi. JR, oops, SoFi taking a dip. Hope the water's too hot to stay in that for very long. Come on, SoFi. You're better than this. Sconstein Livers, why will one still write covered calls on GameStop when SoFi is a great buy right now and great long-term stock to write on? Again, it's up to you to decide where to go with this. JR, listen to me talking like SoFi stock has some kind of life to it or something. Just savage. Mr. Premium, the option sells covered calls or cash secured puts for $4 or $5 and buys back for 3 or 4 cents. He's my hero, laughing out loud. Trying to be like him this year and give them nothing and take from them everything. There you go, my friend. Taking the big bucks when they hand it to you. Why not? If you don't do it, there are hedge fund operators out there in private jets saying, thank you for leaving it to us because we will take the $1 trillion a year and more from all the saps. If you don't do it, we'll do it. It's okay. I have a Lear jet that cost me $12,000 an hour to fly. And I'm flying my wife and my poodle and my 2 little children. It's okay. We're quite happy. If you don't want to take the money, we'll take the money. It's just fine. I say, hey, join these guys. Take a share of their cash. They can spare it. They don't miss it at all. The saps out there will give it to you. Take the money. Giddy up, everybody. Thank you, all of you, for your support. It's tremendous. Another great day today. Thumbs up meter now is 206. Thank you, everybody, for that. Keep those thumbs ups coming in, you rerunners out there. We love you. Have a great rest of your day today. Keep an eye on this channel for updates. You never know when the next one is coming. And I will see you here for sure tomorrow. Don't forget, if you're a Gold Bagel member, join me at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for the Trade Alert Show for Gold Bagel members. And tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Eastern Time, prime time with Uncle Bruce. Gold Bagel members only. Become a Gold Bagel member immediately. Join the group in the Gold Bagel department, and let's conspire ways to help get you richer. How about that? Let's just figure it out. JR, Uncle Bruce, just some January 25 cash secured puts on SoFi moved up to 25% green yesterday. Today, we're still at 22. Even with all this volatility, that's right, because these premiums are now going to shrink out. The earnings have come and gone. And so now the party is over for some of these option players. Down come the prices. You guys win no matter what. You always win. All right. Thank you, guys. 894 on SoFi. We'll watch it. I'll be here. You'll be here. And we'll take it one step at a time. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day. It's Bruce and Auntie Jen saying goodbye from Palm Desert, California. Take care, everybody. Jen's going in for therapy later today. So we'll keep you posted on how it's going. All right, everybody. Take care and thank you. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.